name is Andrew Kipe, and I'm with Red Cloud Securities, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce Cassiar Gold Corp. I've got some disclosures to bring forward, and then I'm going to let Marco speak and give an update on Cassiar Gold. First of all, I would remind everybody that Cassiar Gold has its disclaimers on its second page of its website, and you can actually get the presentation if you don't have it. You can find it on the Red Cloud website. Just go to the schedule and then click directly on Cassiar Gold, and that will bring you to the presentation. From a Red Cloud Securities perspective, I would just highlight that this webinar is for information purposes only and should not be considered a solicitation to purchase or sell securities or a recommendation to buy or sell securities. And we note that this call does not take into account the particular situation or needs of individual investors. Participants should rely on their own investigative work and seek their own professional advice before investment. Please see our most recent disclosures on the Red Cloud website regarding any company that we have under coverage. And with that, Marco, please take over, and I look forward to your presentation.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks, everyone, for joining. My name is Marco Roque. I'm the CEO of Cassiar Gold Corp. We have a very exciting company with a very exciting flagship project. We have 1 million ounces, and we are currently drilling, and we believe we have a multi-million ounce camp at our flagship property. I would like to bring your attention to the cautionary forward-looking statements, as Andrew also mentioned. So there's six main points I really want to emphasize about Cassiar Gold. We have a foundational resource. It's 1 million ounces at 1.43 grams per ton, 43101 compliant, inferred. We are located in a very safe jurisdiction in northern BC. We benefit from community support and engagement. We also have great infrastructure. We have a Highway 37 bisecting our property. We have multiple access roads within our property, access to power and water. We have a camp as well as a permitted mill. Actually, we have mine permits as well for a substantial part of our property. And we have a really world-class team. People like Doug Kerwin, James Maxwell, Steve Ledwin, or Chris Stewart. You might have heard some of these names. We are still very undervalued, or relatively undervalued on a per ounce basis, especially compared with some of our peers. But as I mentioned, more excitingly, we believe that we have a multi-million ounce camp potential, and we are currently drilling to test and hopefully prove that potential. Maybe starting with some of the people, the key people who are involved with Cassiar Gold. We have Steve Ledwin. He's on the board. He is the former president and CEO of IM Gold. He's very experienced. He's our single largest individual shareholder. We also have Chris Stewart on our board. He's a mining engineer. He's the former president and COO of McEwen Mining. We also count with Wilson Jin. He's also a director on our board. He's a geo, very experienced. He's also the CEO of Wild Sky Resources, which is our largest shareholder and the vendor of our now 100% owned flagship property, Cassiar Gold. And then we also have James Letwin, which is also a significant shareholder and the chairman of the company. And then on the technical side, we also count with James Maxwell, who's an advisor, and Casey Gladwin, who is the VP of Exploration. They were both quite critical in taking Sabina from discovery all the way to over 5 million ounces. So they've clearly done it before, and so we really have the right team to reach our goals. And maybe last but not least, we have Doug Kerwin. And maybe I'll just flick the page here for a better picture of Doug. Doug is our chief technical advisor. He's very famous in the mining world. In 2004, he received a Terry Lindsay Award for Best International Mineral Discovery. He's credited with the discovery of the supergiant Tugulemé deposit at Oyu Tolgoi for or Ivanhoe Mines, which was later sold to Rio Tinto. He has multiple successes under his belt, and he's very excited about the project. He's a substantial investor. He came in July as an investor, and he's very excited about the prospectivity of the property. And he's has made comparisons between our flagship Cassiar Gold property with Fosterville, for example, which is quite a big statement, and you know, just goes to prove that how excited he is about our property. Just a little bit of a snapshot, the corporate snapshot. We now have 44.8 million shares outstanding. We've just recently completed the final payment for our property, which was just over 4.5 million shares to Wellsky Resources. We now own 100% of our flagship property. Last night we closed at 63 cents, so we have a market cap just over 30 million, and we have a cash position of roughly 2 million. As I mentioned, we are currently drilling, and we will expect to start releasing results relatively soon. You have some of the key shareholders here. Worth to mention maybe Commodity Discovery Fund or Bilingual Master Gold Fund. We have multiple institutional investors, and we plan and will keep on adding to institutional investors going forward as we keep on attracting and institutionalize our share registry. Maybe worthwhile to note as well that our flagship property was acquired only last year, or optioned out only last year, and just basically this month we've completed the final payments, which was in shares, and now we own it 100% outright. We also completed last month a name change and share rollback, so we are undergoing a complete revamp and rebrand, and the name is and the share count are relatively fresh and new. So it's just wanted to leave you with that information out there. So in terms of undervaluation, I put in here a list of comparables. It's you know, we have 1 million ounce resource at 1.43 grams per ton, and you know, you can see our market cap is relatively low compared to a lot of these names. I have a cheeky peer, Victoria Gold, which is obviously a producer, so you know, not really a comparable. It's more of an aspirational comparable, but they're located in Yukon, operating at the head grade that is lower than our cutoff grade, and this peer comparison is more aspirational than anything else. The yellow circles here on this graph stand for the EV per ounce. So we, you know, at 30 million market cap, we're just roughly at $30 per ounce, and you know, significantly below you know, most of our peers, and even some peers that have no resource and they have a substantially higher enterprise value or market cap, which is what the blue bars stand for. So in terms of our flagship assets, we have two main assets. Sheep Creek is our secondary asset, and we will not be putting a lot of attention. It's an orogenic gold deposit or project. Has produced you know, nearly 1 million ounces at over 14 grams per ton. You know, between 1900 and 1951. It is quite prospective, but you know, we need to focus our attention to our flagship Cassiar Gold. We already have 1 million ounces at 1.43 grams per ton, and we have a very, very prospective land package, which is 56,000 hectares. So it's a substantial land package. It's our flagship Cassiar is, you know, as you can see in the map here, is in northern BC, close with the border with Yukon. This is the location of a historical placer gold mining in the late 1800s, estimated 100,000 ounces. There was a gold rush there in the Cassiar region. We also more recently in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, our property saw production of over 350,000 ounces at very, very exciting grades. So narrowing down to our flagship property, the Cassiar Gold property, it's 56,000 hectares. If you can see here in red, we have Highway 37 coming from the south, and then cutting in half our property, separating our north, Cassiar North or Taurus, and Cassiar South, also known as Table Mountain. So Highway 37 goes through the property. Then we have a highway connecting Highway 37 to the old Cassiar town site and Cassiar mine. This is a deactivated mine, and our resource sits entirely in the orange smudge there on the north side of the yellow oval where it says Taurus, literally under the highway. In terms of logistics and access, that it makes it really easy to operate. We are currently drilling in and around that resource, trying to expand the envelope of known mineralization, given it's open in multiple directions. The resource is flat lying near surface. It's very shallow, and it has room to grow. And this is very much the focus of this drill campaign. As I mentioned, we have besides Highway 37 bisecting our property, we have multiple access roads. These little red lines are the multiple access roads we have within our property. A lot of them connect some of the old mine adits and mine production sites to the mill, which is a 300 ton per day gravity flotation. It's permitted, although it's in relatively bad shape, so not necessarily usable. We also have tailings pond in our camp. We have an internal estimate, which is not 43101 compliant, but it's 600,000 ounces at an estimated 1 gram per ton. And as I mentioned, we also have a camp, and more excitingly, we have a very prospective land package. It's with multiple targets that are bulk tonnage, like our resource, 1.43 grams per ton. So that kind of bulk tonnage grade, which is moderately low, but not super low. And then more excitingly as well, we have very high grade targets, which I'll come to speak a little bit later, but which are in the range of 15 to 25 gram per ton kind of material, gold in quartz vein and other type of mineralization. Here we have a bit of a geological map with the different types of mineralization we have in our property, the location of our resource here. In red, you can see some of the identified veins. Some of them are already been mined. I can show you another slide where that can be further, better seen. And then maybe we can focus on basically what really underpins our valuation, which is our 43101 resource. As you can see on the table on the top, we have, using a cutoff grade of 0.7, which is a very a relatively high cutoff grade. We have just over 1 million ounces. You can see on the long section here on the bottom that the resource is actually very much flat lying and near surface. So you could, I'm not a mining engineer, but you can clearly see the potential here for an open cut. But more excitingly, it's open in multiple directions and at depth as well in some parts. So we have started a drill campaign in mid-August that will be running until the end of this month, and the goal really is to test the lateral as well as the at depth extensions of this deposit in multiple points, and we are quite excited about the results that will be coming out of that. So narrowing down to that drill campaign, is a 5,000 meter drill campaign. Just to give you a bit of the lay of the land, you can see here in red that the highway going literally over the resource. So the resource is a salmon color here. There's a few gaps on the resource. The yellow circles, not sure if you can see, they're very small. They're the historical drilling that has been done. and then you have in colors basically the plans, most of them already been executed, drill holes of this drill campaign. As you can see, we have a little bit of infill, just under 1,000 meters of infill, which is in blue, and basically where we have gaps in the resource model that we feel that we can have ounces. And then it's most of the program is extension in brown, which can be a lateral extension or at depth, as you can see here on the western side. And then you also have in green the more exploration type drill holes at Wings Canyon. In this area is where we have some historical results, some historical drill holes. One of them I can remember is 126 meters at 0.6 grams per ton, which it's relatively low grade, but it's a very long interception. And when you think these things come from surface, pretty much it's it is definitely worthwhile keep on adding these type of ounces. And then we also have this on the western side, the green exploration drill holes, and you would think they would be considered extension, but they're defined as exploration because we have actually a faulting event there. So we're very much trying to find where the mineralization extended on the other side of the faulting event here on the western side. So this is very much our drill campaign that will end in October. In the meantime, we will be adding. We're already designing our drill campaign for next year, and we are very excited about that because we will be able to. We're planning to drill a very exciting part of our property, which is South Cassiar or Table Mountain. This is where we have the old. We have multiple identified veins. So if if you look at the table on the bottom left, you can see the past production here. And most of the ounces that were produced in the 80s and 90s were at 17, 21 grams per ton. So very exciting grades. We also have an historical resource that is not part of our resource. It's less than 100,000 ounces, but at very exciting grades, 18 to 24 grams per ton. So our goal is really to build on these type of targets and try to grow a resource here at Table Mountain or South Cassiar, and build a higher grade resource in addition to our bulk tonnage resource, which we hope to increase as well. If you look at the right, the picture on the right, you can see basically in red some of the veins that have been mined, and basically you can see, which is from this production here on the bottom left. A lot of the drilling in the past was focused on basically mining, drilling to mine. But there are several veins that have in purple that have been identified and haven't been mined, and hopefully there's a lot more veins to be identified. And this is very much our plan for 2021. And starting as soon as possible in Q2 to go and drill this part of our property. And we have a very, very exciting and prospective targets that we want to build upon. So in terms of catalysts, we are just completing the 5,000 meter drill program. We will be releasing results over the next few months until probably mid-December, depending on the lab return times and other logistical considerations. We're very excited about the results coming out of that. We continue to achieve our corporate milestones. We keep on adding. We've added Doug Kerwin in August actually, as our chief technical advisor, and we want to keep on adding high profile people that we believe it's going to help us in finding the best targets and making sure that our drill dollars count. We are starting basically a marketing campaign following our name change and share rollback, and along with with the drill results, we really want to get as many eyeballs onto us, because I think investors should really have a good look at what we have. We have, we're significantly, relatively undervalued compared to our peers. I believe on a per ounce basis, we probably should be deserving maybe a higher valuation, and then more exciting if and when we keep on adding results from the drill campaign, we hopefully grow our resource base. And then in next year,
this is a great spot to leave. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but look, thank you very much for introducing Cassiar Gold. And we look forward to seeing the results as they come out through the remainder of this year. It looks to me like that 5,000 meter program is really just the beginning of an opportunity that is going to develop well into 2021, when I think you sink your teeth more meaningfully into the exploration potential of the project. On behalf of Red Cloud Securities, I'd like to thank Marco Roque, the CEO of Cassiar Gold, for this update. And like I said, we look forward to seeing those results come through.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks everyone for listening.